Welcome in, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Good day. Nice to see you on a Monday. I'm back again, feeling kind of perky, ready for our scheduled Frankfurt to Amsterdam flight. I really hope this is going to be a smooth flight. We're predicted for some maybe light overcast weather, possibility of rain. Germany's looking very nice at the moment, and Amsterdam's looking even nicer, so let's get in. We're just in the process of boarding passengers and fuel, baggage, etc. Let's check in with the ground crew and see what's going on with the 777. So, we're loading up. We're here outside the terminal. We're about ready to depart after we've programmed our FMC. I'm going to do slightly different today, just because I'm looking forward to the flight. It's only a short flight of 1 hour approximately. According to my timer, we got a 1 hour 15 timer, so plenty to do it all. I'll hop back in. Ground services, this is what we usually do if you've not been here before. My name's Grantham, and we're doing a regular intercontinental flight schedule throughout Europe. Okay, let's get into this. Yep. 1 minute remaining on passengers. The catering truck's done. Baggage is done. We have quite a lot on board. We have about 329 people. First class is looking busy. Go ahead and start the aircraft up and get the FMC programmed. No ground power at this location, just because there's no scenery for it. Arm the emergency light, stick the ADIU on, the DIRU. The APU is on, check. No smoking, and seatbelt signs, the electronics and the pneumatics. By the way, just check outside the aircraft. This is, if you haven't realised, 777 Boeing 777-300 extended range British Airways livery. It's looking very nice. I have to say, for a flight gear, for the free game and the free aircraft, this is by far one of the best to ever exist on it. It's so well put together, it performs extremely well, and it looks great. It's fast, it's mighty. There's not much else you can want from a flight simulator, if I'm perfectly honest. Yeah, sure, the realistic ones are great. Sometimes the free ones are just as good. Flight gear, go and check it out. Okay, so boarding complete. We can disconnect our ground services. Disconnect all. We have our souls on board. Fuel pumps on. Let's get the pushback started. Doing it slightly different. And we'll go ahead and start those engines. Always impressed by the mighty sound, the powerful engines of the 777. If you don't know already, it's 200-foot wingspan. The size of its cabin is like triple the size of a 737. As you see, plenty of Lufthansa aircraft. If you're not aware already, we're in Germany, Frankfurt International. Help if I turn the battery on. And we can just go ahead and park our aircraft here for now. Preparation for taxiing. Thank you, Mr. Pushback. Brakes on. The engines were starting. I got slightly distracted. Didn't introduce fuel. But there we go. The N1 is spooling up. The N1 is the fan speed, and the N2 is more like the internal speed. You got fan, the exhaust gas temperature, Oil pressure, temps are down here, quantity. You can see our fuel quantity here. We've already got one set of flaps. Let's go ahead and put 2 in. 5 degrees of flaps. And get onto the FMC, because FMC last night wasn't working, and I figured out that actually some of the autopilot things aren't working. The VNAV, vertical navigation, isn't working properly on this, and some of the other things on the FMC. So we'll have to see if we can program the route into that. If not, we can just do it on our usual menu up here. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, we can turn the APU off. Engines are on. Start, continuous. Don't need anti-ice just yet. Okay, let's do the FMC. Not before we've done the pressure. 30.15. Okay, so let's go position initialization. I've got to remember where I actually am and what the ICAO is. It's EDDF, and we're going to EHAM, EHAM. So EDDF for reference airport. We don't really have a gate, that's fine, but as you can see, it's put our coordinates in. A lot of this doesn't really work, so I'm glad that small amounts do. Route, origin, EDDF, destination, Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. That's the Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. We'll go ahead and make a number. We are British Airways. We're going to call it BA. I don't know, 254. And we will click activate, execute. So that should have activated it. It's given us a runway there. That'll be our departure runway in a sec. Okay, cruising altitude. We're only going about an hour, so we're going to go 22,000. We don't actually put 22,000, my mistake. We put flight level 220, and it puts it up there for us, flight level 220. Cost index, I'm not sure what the cost index is for the company. We'll have to contact British Airways later on to get a better picture of what it is. Reserves, I don't know, 5. Let's put 5 in. 0.5 or something. Might be better doing that. Maybe 0.8. Not much, but we have got enough fuel. Let's just check. Yeah, we got plenty. Okay, back into this computer system, which is fairly difficult to work with, but on this game it's simple because the game is not very well put. It's not developed to the most, like, its most maximum potential. Takeoff. This has given us 15 flaps, yeah. 129, these are our reference speeds. 137, okay. Alright, we want to go on departure, arrival. We choose our runway. Let's have a look on the map. So we got runway 25 left, looks like it's going to be the one we're going to go on. So we click. It's not actually appearing on these, unless there's a next page I'm not seeing. It's not appearing on it 25, it just says 25 center. 07. Maybe the runways are not working. Maybe some work. Okay, I think that's working. You have to forgive me. Like I say, it's not completely fully worked yet. Let's try that departure thing one more time. I did it last night, no issues. A little bit embarrassing. Seems to be programmed. Let's leave it in. We'll click back on route. It has given us that on route. Okay, approach, default approach. Now, hopefully it has come up on our radar. Let's see if... Take a closer look at our map. Equipment map. Okay, so it's not giving us the departure route that I was hoping for. It's just got a line going from the runway, so maybe we have to do that ourselves. Let's select it on here. It's a bit easier. There we go. That's a bit smoother. We arrive on runway... Initialize flight, we're about ready to go. You need to take our navigation and beacon and taxi lights on. Just make sure the lights are working. The window wipers don't work, if you're wondering. Fantastic, fantastic game. Fantastic start. Make sure everything's sorted on there. So we're at 22,320 knots, yeah. Let's change it on this. 22,000. We won't go to 320 just yet. We have to get through 10,000 feet first. Okay, double check the approach. It has programmed it in. Okay, we might as well get going. I mean, that's about as much as we can do on this plane in terms of realism. Fairly easy to use actually. If you want a game, this is definitely worth it. It's not too serious in terms of its computer aspects. Make sure our transponder's on. Okay, so we want to be taxiing to 25 left. That's just over at the actual left. Taxi through here for this nondescript parking zone and say goodbye to Frankfurt International Airport. Welcome in, by the way. I never said it. Welcome in. If you're here, happy Monday to you. We'll get that timer started right now. Yeah, if you're here first time, welcome in, welcome aboard. This is a regular thing every week. 3 times a week we're going from wherever we land to a new destination, and we just happened to land in Frankfurt. And now we're at the Schiphol, and after Schiphol we will head down back to the Balkans. I think we're going to head back to Bulgaria. Either Bulgaria, Romania, or possibly just to carry on in Europe to Poland. Poland's fantastic. I hope they got some scenery on flightgear for it. Okay, so let's set our heading. If I can remember how, we want runway 25 left, not right. We have a nice taxi line. We'll take November or Mike. Keeping our eyes out in case there are any incoming aircraft on the taxiway, and this is a particularly busy airport, so there are absolutely tons of aircraft parked up, many at the terminals, and even more seem to be taxiing to takeoff. As you can see, plenty of Lufthansa aircraft in business. We may be able to cut across this runway. It seems like the right thing to do, but we're not going to. We're gonna play it safe because there are other aircraft in the vicinity. And by the looks of it, 3 aircraft on final. Different runways. Let's keep an eye on our traffic, yeah. The black squares are traffic, and absolute chaos. It's absolutely packed. Our auto throttles for takeoff. As you can see, takeoff go around has been highlighted green. when we advance the thrust, it will give us the correct one. Ah, Terminal 1. We actually have a sign for a terminal. Yeah, it's a good thing we're not landing on this one, because there's absolutely seems to be an army of planes just coming in to land. 1, 2, 3. Many planes. I might turn that down. I'm gonna try and turn that down actually. I'm not sure how. Maybe AI objects or rendering. Let's turn that. Maybe that'll reduce the amount of aircraft, because there's no chance in real life that they'd be landing like that. Like, it's like a train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 planes. Wow. We are taking off into the wind. In case you're wondering, we didn't just pick a random runway. We did pick one to land in and take off into the wind. Excuse me. Windsock's air. Take our left, right hand turn to 25 left. You see we've got the signs. We're going down Alpha and Delta West. I'm assuming this is a taxiway. There's no line on it. We can just slip through the gap in this massive artificial intelligence nightmare. Thank you, co-pilot. We are indeed approaching 25 center, but that's not the runway we want. We want to head over to the left side of the airfield. Completely free aircraft is 777. It's probably the only one on the flight gear I'm actually using at the moment. I did give the 787 Dreamliner a go, but to be honest, it's not great. I mean, it's good, it's nice, it's better than most of them, but it's still, like, a lot of them still look pretty crap inside, to be honest. So you get the 777, you get this fantastic cockpit to work, and it looks like this is the most detailed it's going to get on this. 07 right, thank you. You had me worried there, we're on the wrong runway. Okay, landing lights on, strobes on, taxi into the takeoff point, which is here. Passengers fasten your seatbelt sign is on. I think we can say we are a go. We will activate. Well, okay. Let's check the route manager is activated. Yeah, so that should be on. Initialize flight. Route, it's coming up on there. Let's change that. 25 left. Okay, great. There's our legs for the journey. I thought I was going to be able to prepare the lateral navigation before we took off. Ah, there we go. Okay. We just needed to change the computer to the right runway. Okay, let's go. Let's get going on this flight. You're already slightly behind on schedule. V1. Rotate. Positive rate climb, gear up. Our autothrottle is engaged automatically. We can prepare to do our departing turn to the right hand side any second. Keep our lateral navigation activated, engaged, or whatever you want to call it, so that we know where we're going to be flying. It's not going to fly the aircraft for me just yet. Look at those clouds as we depart Frankfurt International. Fantastic details. Some of the best weathering and cloud systems are on flightgear. And indeed weather systems. I know the rain's not very realistic, but it's still on here. For me, the clouds make this a top 5 flight simulator, easily. And trust me, I've played a lot of them. Okay, I'm going to do a slightly early turn onto this leg from EDDF. And Golf Sierra Tango Bravo Alpha is now passing through 6,000 feet for 22,000. Nice steady turn there. I'm going to retract one of those flaps as the aircraft passes 230 knots. Turn the landing lights off, gear is up. The flaps can come up. That's the landing after takeoff checklist complete. And auf Wiedersehen, our German friends. We say goodbye to them and hello to the Dutch. I'm waiting for 10,000 feet and then I'll activate the autopilot and hope that it follows the correct path, because it's been a little bit temperamental the last few days. It has given us the correct. Well, apparently we missed that turn. According to the map, we haven't. Awesome. Let's center this. Center on aircraft. Makes it a whole lot easier. Activate autopilot. That should now hopefully turn us back en route and keep us en route. If it starts doing something else, I could take manual control. Not that difficult on the flight sim, to be honest. Traffic collision alert system. Okay. Got about a good amount of distance horizontally, but not vertically. Ah, there we go. About a couple hundred feet vertically. And we're en route. We're en route to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me for this flight. It's good to see you here on a Monday afternoon. If you're from the UK, if you're from the United States, very good day to you. And I hope it's nice there. I hope things are going well. If you're from Europe, you're about an hour in front. So hello from the past. Another traffic alert system thing there. TCAS system is fully functional on flightgear in the 777. We are a good 4,000 feet higher than that, so we're well safe. So when we get to 22,000, as you can see, there's actually quite a few aircraft coming and going from Amsterdam as well. And we have a KLM there doing the same route, and a Lufthansa coming back from Schiphol. So yeah, it's a very popular route by the look of it. Go ahead and turn the map off and prepare for our mid-flight siesta. Approximate time to arrival is 1 hour, and we expect pretty good weather. It's looking fantastic. Fantastic for a Monday anyway. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Everything's set up for the flight. Something tells me people enjoy the daytime flights as well, more than the nighttime. So enjoy this one, and I will see you very, very soon. My mistake, I've got the timer set for 1 hour 15, and according to the route manager we are expecting to arrive in barely half an hour, which is fantastic. The estimated time of arrival is 25 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and change the timer. I'm glad I overestimated though, that gives us a bit of leeway to 40 minutes. See if we can do it in 40. Have you ever been? Let me know if you've ever been to Amsterdam as well. I have. It's a nice place. European cities are always nice and clean, pretty. Seem to always be sunny even when it's not. And they smell well. My experience, I've been to the good ones. They usually smell quite good because you're walking past all the restaurants and the cafes and get to smell all that nice food. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and check the weather. A 30.15 on the altimeter, or altimeter if you're England like I am. Utilities, you can actually do some calculations, which is useful. You can even see our GPS position. Got a calculator, and granted some of them don't work. Descent rate calculator. Okay, here we go. I've talked in the past about calculating our descents. And usually the vertical navigation system would do it, but it's not fully implemented into this plane yet. So you can do it here yourself, you can calculate it. I mean, we could probably go ahead and try that now. Like, we can put our initial flight level in. So we'll go ahead and change that. Cool, okay, that has changed. Target flight level is going to be, we check on the autopilot, we need to be down below 4,000. Let's just go ahead and call it 2,000. So we put flight level 20. I think that's right. For 2,000. Target ground speed, initial ground speed, distance to target. Well, we can check that on the map. In fact, we could just keep using the route manager. We got 134 nautical miles. Still changing that. Target flight level. Excuse me. Let's just put 315 nautical miles. So it's giving us 200 feet a minute. If we were to descend now, that is. Which is not too bad. That's kind of comfortable for the guests. I mean, we might as well consider it and make everyone's life slightly more pleasant aboard British Airways. Descent angle and all of this. So we go back, we don't really need that anymore. See, we've got speed conversion, length, these all seem to be working, weight, temperature, so on and so forth. Time zone calculator. Well, the clock is correct on there. It's 3 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, and we can calculate a time zone. So yeah, very cool, very interesting. Section not implemented on performance, and I believe airport maps are not implemented either. It's still very good to have it on board. Gives you a idea of what might be on this game. We do have our departure and our arrival. 36 right. Go ahead and change this. 360 for the runway heading. That's exactly north. That's exactly the position if he was going to be heading north. Yeah, clear blue skies, it's going to be a good one. Hope your holiday is going to be a good one in Amsterdam. Just selecting the fuel pump there in the centre. We did have a sign on, it's gone off, I turned it back off. I've turned the anti-ice on. I'm not sure if that's the aircraft, but I can hear they're almost like a compressed air sound. Oh no, I hope this doesn't turn into an episode of Air Crash Investigation or something. Not picking up as many frames on this, we're only getting about 30. Usually I get 60 frames per second on this game. Like, easily. No issues, I've got the hardware for it. If you're not familiar with the aircraft already, the 777 will automatically tune to the ILS runway we require, since we've already programmed it into the FMC and it's on the flight legs. We can see, just double check, that we departed 25 left for 36 right. When we get into this sort of time zone and area, it will, even though it's the same time zone, it will tune to the correct runway, so you don't have to actually worry about it. That's why you can't put it into your radios. It's because it does it for you on the FMC, or through the FMC I should say. A list of alternate airports there. No, I'm not going to divert because we don't have any issues on board, thankfully. FMC com. We have our takeoff descent forecast. I mean, that might come in handy. And development, okay. Navigation radio. As I was saying, it programs it for you. So it's got the VOR. And it'll be tuned to the correct runway when we arrive. None of these things are in progress or even working. About 80 miles, 94 according to that. Could start descending at 200 feet a minute. We are cruising at 250, I didn't realise. We should have been at 320. Still getting us there fast enough. I'm going to start descending at approximately 200 feet a minute. That's what it said on the calculator. Probably need to descend a little bit quicker. Down to 7,000 feet. Okay, so we're going back on here, we go on to systems, utilities, descent rate calculator, target level 770, just giving us distance 88 nautical miles. Need to be going about 900 feet a minute, 980 feet a minute. Okay, let's do that. Let's descend at 980 feet a minute, down to flight level 70. Just under 1,000 feet. I don't think we can select 980, so we'll have to do 1,000 feet. As you can see, it's changing. We didn't do it with the flight change button this time. We did it using the vertical speed, which is great because it gives you another option. You can either change the altitude on here and then click flight level change, or change it on here and then alternate between the vertical speeds on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain speaking. First of all, thank you for flying British Airways. We'd like to thank you for your custom and your returning monies. If you look at your left side of the window, you'll see clouds with a chance of clouds, and if you look out to the right, you'll see blue haze with a chance of white. We're on the descent leg for EHAM, that is Echo Hotel Alpha Mike, which is basically Schiphol Airport. I'm your pilot Grantham, and we appreciate you flying with us today. Cabin, do what you like, but don't mess around too much. We've kept the seatbelt signs on because it's a short flight. Descent should only take about 10 minutes at this rate. And we'll land on 36 right at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. And to go ahead and increase our descent rate, just to make sure we hit that target 4,000 feet. We've got an estimated time of 9 minutes. We should be able to do it. We should be able to get below 4,000 in 9 minutes time, at 1,000 feet a minute. So we're going to be on the safe side, and we're going to increase to 1,200 feet. You know what, 1,500 feet per minute to bring the 777 down in preparation for landing. This is the entirety of the approach pathway here. As you see, we've got 4 checkpoints. First we have to get onto the approach, then we have these sort of where it says 36 right, 12, these are the localizer waypoints, and then of course you have the glide slope. This will be probably less than 500 feet near towards the runway. You're probably less than a mile out at this point. Well, it says it there, about 1.7 nautical miles away you'll have the glide slope. So that's it, as always a useful reference. And then this one, 6.3 nautical miles, that's more or less the length of the runway. So we're descending now. We are going to stick our landing lights on. I'm going to do everything super early. I'm going to start to prepare the plane with some flaps as well. I'm going to stick 1 notch of flaps because we're only going 250 knots. Cross-check our pressure has given us 29.97, so the pressure's changed. overcast weather is predicted. There is a possibility of raining still, so we've got to be super careful we don't come across turbulence or wind shear. Heaven forbid wind shear on final. Okay, let me do this. 29.97. If we really wanted, we could simply go onto radio. We don't have any charts on this, so we can't get the actual frequencies for the airport, but we can just click on ATC services. It's not actually within range yet, but we can search for it. Okay, we have ground, we have tower, and the 777 on this, you can only change frequencies from the radio menus, the radio, so you have to actually do it from here because it's temperamental otherwise. So we have ground, tower, unnamed entity, departure. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming unnamed entity is the ATIS. So let's go ahead and try that. 128.8. Yeah, it might be the ATIS. That should give us a rundown of the important stuff. No, nothing's happening. Nothing's coming through the audio. You haven't got an arrival, which is strange. They've only got departure. Tower. Tune to the tower 119.225. Make sure we can listen in. Yeah, see, it's still coming up on the ATC. The ATC is massively broke on this. They need to fix it. Aside from that, I'm loving it. Loving every moment. And we're passing through 10,000 feet. For flight level 30. Let's change our cruise speed because we did actually cruise at 250 knots. Seems Venice has a Venice Carnival at the moment. Our next flight from Schiphol, just had a change of plans then. We will head to Venice. And that'll be interesting. We'll head back down to southern Italy, down to Venice, and check out the carnival and see what's going on. That should be on Wednesday. So Wednesday the 26th at approximately 1:30 in the afternoon for GMT time. If you're on EST, Eastern time, it's going to be something like 8 in the morning. And if you're in Moscow time, it's usually 3 hours ahead, so about 4:30 in Moscow time. On European time, it'll be 2:30. They're the streaming times throughout the week. We are hitting that rain I predicted. Yeah, there's that bad weather. That bad weather's just hit us now, so we're gonna have to start to slow down considerably now. We might be looking at a... Oh no, what have I just clicked on that? Okay, we are looking at a ILS approach by the look of it. Not too good, to be honest. Not too good. We're going to go ahead and slow down to 220, 230, and deploy another notch of flaps any second. Stick our speed brake to armed. I really hope that the approach path on the system lines up with the runway. According to this, it does, so we should have a straight in approach to runway 36 right through what looks like a monstrous storm. Nice rainbow though over to the right hand side. Okay, lights on, flaps. And it's very nice. There's a completely in contrast to Germany. And strangely enough, this is looking worse than England. Yeah, England's rather sunny and warm at the moment. As we descend now and level off at 3000, we can start to see the train below us. And see that rain whizzing past. Just know it's going to give us issues on the runway. I'm sticking a storm light on. We don't know what's going to happen. The weather system on here, I don't actually think it's working. I haven't seen any indication of this on the radar whatsoever. We're approaching approach 4. We do need to be down below 2000, about 2000. So we go ahead and descend. Okay, now we're hitting some turbulence. About 800 feet, I'm going to slow down again to 220, just bearing in mind how many people we've got on board. 343 souls on board, including 3 members of crew. So we're slightly understaffed for a Monday, that's surprising. We are carrying 5,500 pounds of belly cargo. That's quite... Okay, we're getting call outs, 2,500. Might be better off just levelling off at 2,500, to be honest. It's quite nerve-wracking. Let's slow it down again. It's 210. We may be able to do an autopilot landing. I think we're probably going to have to utilise it to our advantage on this approach. If you are watching the clock, it's about 12 minutes ETA on that, but according to this, we're probably about 2 or 3 minutes out. Never be 100% on the clock countdown. Okay, 1 notch of flaps, 15 degrees, goes down. The weather's cleared up slightly, we're through the clouds. I thought we were going to have to perform a instrument approach. These little diamond indicators on the ADI are the glide slope, or the localizer. They tell us when we're on the localizer and glide slopes. This one and this one, you'll have a horizontal one on a vertical one. This vertical diamond needs to be in the center, and this horizontal one needs to be in the center. So we are heading in the right heading. We're going in the right direction. Vertically it's saying we're not in the correct height, which is fine. I know we are. We can probably select localizer now, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. And we should be able to select glide slope about now, and it will take us down. We'll put that gear down, select approach, and this diamond has gone magenta, turned magenta in colour. As you can see, it's moving towards the centre. So when that hits the centre, we're going to be on track for a perfect landing. A little bit fast, down to 190, 180. Again, the weight of the aircraft is so important to take into account because of our gross weight of 500,000. That's relatively heavy. We're well under landing weights by about 54,000. So, but yeah, it's still a heavy aircraft. It's a big aircraft. It's gonna be needing to be slowed down, and it's giving us a glide slope descent rate now. But we're not actually close to the runway. Okay. Just going to deploy the rest of the flaps, which should be fully deployed or fully lowered by the time we hit the ground. Bringing that speed down to 170, 165 knots. Localizer is engaged, glide slope is engaged, roll out and flare are ready to be utilised on landing. I'm going to hover over the AP disengage button as standard procedure. We don't actually want the aircraft to land itself. That's not what's meant to happen. It will initialise the landing and probably get us down, but we do need to turn it off realistically in this weather. Thank you, co-pilot. Approaching 36 right, 500 feet, 400, 300, too low terrain, that's minimums, 200, that's fine, don't worry. 100, we're going to disengage the auto throttle. There's the flare. Okay, we just about touched down. Reverse thrusters, spoilers. Very good performance there by we disengage the reversers, bring the flaps up. Very good performance there by the autopilot. I'm very impressed. That was a very smooth approach, and didn't quite make it land, but we had plenty of control at the end. We turned into EHAM Schiphol Airport, where it's absolutely packed full of fantastic looking KLM livery 747s. Wow, you don't see them very much anymore. It's very detailed airport. Okay, taxi lights on. After landing checklist complete. Fasten seatbelt sign is still on. That was a very good landing. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know what you thought if you're watching this on replay as well. We had two fantastic rainbows. A little bit of overcast weather there, but it didn't put a dent in our day at all. I'm seriously impressed with Schiphol Airport scenery. This is well better than Frankfurt International Airport. Even the aircraft, as I was saying, you don't see the 747 KLM liveries anymore. They just don't fly them anymore. And if they do, it must be somewhere in Asia, because I haven't seen them in Europe at all for a long time. Okay, we can see a terminal. There's plenty of terminals over there. Let's hope they're big enough. May have to take one on the right next to the 747s. Ground speed of is approximately 13 knots. Jet 2 holidays there on the signage. No, not my mistake, just some colouring. Thought it might have been another travel company. How cool is that? How cool is this airport? I'm gonna have to be flying to this one a lot more in the future. There we go, Schiphol Amsterdam, that's the airport sign we've been waiting for. Welcome to Amsterdam, Schiphol. Fantastic. That's been a great flight for a half one. And we did it. Slightly over time. In general, it's been smooth. Okay, we've not got any spaces here on the right. We'll go ahead and park here. Bring that ground speed down. About 10. Slightly below 10. Rather flimsy looking jetways. Turn our taxi lights. Strobes. We won't do a shutdown. We will put the parking brake on there. Incredible. Incredible. I didn't put the spoilers back. There we go. Not a proper shutdown, but nonetheless a shutdown. Ground crew services are now lining up. We can start to connect the jetways. Maybe not. Baggage, stairs. And start unloading. Thank you for this start deboarding. This fantastic experience. Thank you for joining me. This has been one hell of an experience again. Have a good Monday, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.